So in the last few days, we've had a crazy sequence of events when it comes to the sequel trilogy and the future of those characters in Star Wars. We've had a lot of rumors, we've had a lot of leaked documents, we've had a lot of stuff coming from Kathleen Kennedy's mouth directly, as well as stuff from Jon Favreau and other creators who could be involved in the sequel trilogy or the sequel to the sequel trilogy. Let's get into it. If you enjoy Star Wars news and if you want to see more improvements within Star Wars, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the video. So like I said, we've had a crazy sequence of events in the last few days and really in the last few weeks, even months if you go far back enough when it comes to the rumors. But recently, we've had a lot of facts coming from Kathleen Kennedy's mouth directly, who obviously is the president of Lucasfilm for at least 3 more years unless something crazy happens. I don't foresee it happening. I don't think that she's going to leave or get fired within those 3 years. But a lot of people within my comment section do see that happening. They do think that she will leave or be fired within the next 3 years. I don't think it's that out of this world that could happen, but I just don't foresee it happening. I don't think that it's a probability that would happen. Lines up with a lot of the rumors that we've been hearing in the last few weeks, and also lines up with a lot of the leaked documents that I may or may not have allegedly received. It lines up with a lot of people's leaks, it lines up with a lot of people's reports, and I just think that this stuff is most likely going to happen. I think it's ramping up very fast and very out of nowhere, and I think that we could be seeing another movie, or maybe, like this article says right here, a TV show involving the characters from the sequel trilogy. We could be seeing that in the next 2 or 3 years. I think that this could be developed extremely fast. They must have had some sort of revelation, or just someone came to them that they trust, which I'll get into later on. Someone like Jon Favreau came to them with an idea. Someone that they trust came to them with an idea, and they were like, you know what, let's go forward with this because we've seen the template already for how to make successful Star Wars. Let's do this. You know, we can do it. We can repair the sequel trilogy characters. We can repair Kathleen Kennedy's legacy at Lucasfilm. We can really just repair the legacy of Lucasfilm since the Disney purchase, because the legacy of Lucasfilm in general, it's not just Kathleen Kennedy, it's not just the sequel trilogy. The legacy of Lucasfilm in general is just not good. You know, it's really gone downhill ever since the Disney purchase. We've had The Force Awakens, which was kind of, you know, an uptrend. It was kind of an uptick. A lot of people loved The Force Awakens. I think that a lot of us thought that after The Force Awakens, we were going to see some of the best Star Wars ever. You know, even though it was kind of a rehash of A New Hope, I think a lot of us did have a lot of faith in Star Wars going forward after The Force Awakens dropped. But ever since then, it's been kind of downhill until very recently, until The Mandalorian Season 1 dropped. It was pretty downhill. You know, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, horrible movies in a lot of people's eyes. The Last Jedi isn't my main problem with the sequels. The Rise of Skywalker is my main problem. But we've had Solo, which was just all right. You know, it felt like a Han Solo movie could be a lot better than that. And then Rogue One was kind of a hit with a lot of fans. But regardless, Lucasfilm's legacy has not been that great, you know, ever since the Disney purchase. And I think that if someone that they trust, like Jon Favreau, which I'll get into in 1 minute, came to them with a sequel trilogy idea, or maybe just a sequel to the sequel trilogy idea, could be a show, could be a movie, who knows? A lot of people are saying that the future of Star Wars is on television. I hope it's a movie. I hope it's a trilogy of movies. I don't want to see more Star Wars TV shows. We have enough. I want to see Star Wars on the big screen. But if someone came to them that they trust and said, you know what, I have this idea, I think it could work. And if they trust them enough, like Jon Favreau, like they would trust Jon Favreau, I think that they would greenlight it and go ahead and do it. And I think that's what we're seeing right here. I think that's why stuff is ramping up so quickly with this idea. And we got this report on November 25th. J.J. Abrams rumored to be producing new Star Wars TV show, but does anyone want it? And what they're saying is he's going to be producing a Star Wars TV show that involves Rey Skywalker, Ben Solo, John Boyega, maybe even. I don't even know if he would want to return. He said that they're not going to Disney Plus him, but then I think that he saw the success of streaming and Disney Plus recently in the last couple of years, and he probably changed his mind on that, because there's really no shame in going to streaming anymore, even if you're an A-list actor. You know, a lot of them are doing it actively. They're trying to seek out these streaming deals and stuff like that. So I don't think John Boyega still thinks he's too big for Disney Plus, because that's absolutely a ridiculous idea. And even if he, you know, didn't have a change of heart in his view of streaming, I think that just the fact that he's not really being cast in all that much would probably change his mind. So anyway, I don't think that he would be a problem to get to come back, even if it's for a Disney Plus show. The main one that I think, and it's crazy to say this, but the main one that I think would be a big problem to make him come back would be Oscar Isaac. I think Adam Driver would probably even be easy to make him come back, because he seems like he really enjoyed the Kylo Ren character. You know, I saw an interview with him recently where he even said that he wears his Kylo Ren helmet that he stole from the Star Wars set whenever he drives his car and stuff like that. I think he really enjoyed playing that character, and I think he really enjoyed the positive feedback that he got from playing that character as well. But even he's not being cast in all that much. He's not, his career isn't dead by any means. I think he's one of the best working actors in the world. So he'll never need Star Wars like someone like John Boyega could need Star Wars, or someone like even Daisy Ridley could need Star Wars, because she's kind of had that curse now where, yes, your career blew up because you played Rey, but also at the same time, your career blew up because you played Rey. So you're not going to be able to get cast in just any role. You're most likely just going to be stuck playing Rey for the rest of your life, or taking really small movies here and there for not even close to the same paycheck that you got from Star Wars. So it's a blessing and a curse. I think Daisy would definitely do it again if she could, because I don't think that her career would have blown up this much without Star Wars. I don't think there's any doubt in that. So I think she would be pretty easy to make come back. Honestly, I think they could all come back. I think they could definitely make this happen. And like I said, I think it's most likely them making this happen because someone like Jon Favreau came to them with an idea and said, I have this great idea. I've already showed you the template with The Mandalorian season 1 and 2. The Mandalorian season 2 finale was the most rewatched television episode of all time, or some crazy stat like that. And just in comparison to episode 8 and 9, you can just see the amount of feedback, the amount of eyeballs, the amount of talking on social media about The Mandalorian season 1 and season 2, obviously, especially season 2, after, more traction got on the show in between the two seasons. Because after season 1, everybody kind of caught on to Baby Yoda. They're like, ooh, who is this Baby Yoda guy? I want to see what this is. And then after season 1 ended, in that time period between season 1 and season 2, a lot of just people who have never even seen Star Wars, who never cared about Star Wars in the past, a lot of random moms and random aunts out there are just watching The Mandalorian to watch Baby Yoda, and they end up getting hooked. So they're all watching season 2 as the episodes drop. So now season 2 is just one of the biggest shows of all time on a Game of Thrones type level, where everyone is live tweeting the show and stuff like that. It's crazy. No one is doing anything like that for The Rise of Skywalker or for The Last Jedi, especially for The Rise of Skywalker, because the hype was still there when The Last Jedi came out, because The Force Awakens was very well received, as I said earlier. But for The Rise of Skywalker, no one was getting that hyped for the show. And the craziest part is The Mandalorian season 1 was airing during The Rise of Skywalker. Not during The Rise of Skywalker, but it aired, one of the episodes, I believe it was the second to last episode, or maybe episode 6, something like that, aired a couple of days before The Rise of Skywalker dropped. Then The Rise of Skywalker dropped. People talked about it for maybe 24 hours, and then we went back to The Mandalorian because it's way better, it's way more exciting, it's way more fun to speculate on The Mandalorian than it is for The Rise of Skywalker, because for one, it's supposed to be the end of the Skywalker saga, and for two, it just wasn't a good movie to watch. But what I think is going on here, and we've seen a lot of things point towards this. We've seen Daisy Ridley go eat breakfast with Kathleen Kennedy. That was around a month ago. People started freaking out about that, and then Kathleen Kennedy straight up says that, you know what, these sequel trilogy characters aren't done. We're not done with them. We're going to actually move forward with them. And I think it's going to be sooner than we thought. I think it's going to be sooner than Lucasfilm thought, than Kathleen Kennedy thought. Because like I said, I believe this is Jon Favreau or someone like him, maybe Dave Filoni, but I think it's most likely Jon Favreau, came to them with an idea, because we've already seen it in The Mandalorian. We already hinted at Snoke in The Mandalorian. We already had Luke, the Luke that everyone wanted. We know what they were trying to do. We know that they gave that to us because of what we got in the sequel trilogy. There's no doubt about that. They wanted to give Star Wars fans the Luke Skywalker that they deserve. They wanted to do that not only for us, but for them, because they're Star Wars fans as well. So it's no question that they understand the missed opportunities within the sequel trilogy, and I think that they're trying to fix it actively. They're trying to connect their universe, their Mandalorian universe, with the sequel trilogy universe at every single step that they possibly can, so that whenever the time comes for them to make that sequel trilogy, Jon Favreau can step in and say, you know what, I've actually made a lot of connections within my universe to the sequel trilogy, so if you could let me do these next 3 movies, or at least be heavily involved in the storytelling for these next 3 movies, I think I can do something really special to not only make this a really big trilogy to make a lot of money, but also to repair the legacy of the last 3 movies and repair the legacy of Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm in general. And I think if he went up to them and he said that, I think they would 100% go all in on his idea, because he has already shown them the template to successful Star Wars. He's already shown them the template with Mandalorian season 1 and season 2, that he can not only make good Star Wars, but totally take the attention off of the bad Star Wars and put it all onto the good Star Wars, and just in reality, save Star Wars. That's what The Mandalorian did. The Mandalorian took Star Wars from being this absolute failure with episode 9 to having a lot of hope. And then Mandalorian season 2 just gave us even more hope. And now we're getting shows like Kenobi coming and Ahsoka coming. And I just think that Star Wars is on such an uptrend right now that they would be stupid to not let Jon Favreau try to repair the mistakes of the past. Let me know what you guys think. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope to see you on the next one.